Greetings everybody and welcome back to WagerTalk TV. This is Pavlos to break down some EPL matches for the weekend. We got like half a slate because we got the FA Cup semi-finals. We got City and Chelsea, I believe they're playing in the FA Cup. So there's only 5 matches on the weekend, all on Saturday. I'm gonna try to break down each and every one of those and give you guys some actionable information. I'm not sure which one of these is gonna make my card. But there's some very interesting matches. I have a 4% best bet loaded for Friday. My French connection gave me this tip. I checked at the stats, it makes sense. I loaded a 4%, it's a side bet. You can find it at wt.buzz/pl. Also have some plays up for the weekend. You can find all those at wt.buzz/pl. We have discounted passes for 3, 7, 30, 90 and 360 days of soccer. And of course, if you buy that yearly pass or even that 90 days, you'll also get all the World Cup 2026. We're T-minus like 50 days from the World Cup. Very exciting times, so head over to my page, you'll find all about it. Now onwards to the EPL breakdown. Starting off with a match between Fulham and Aston Villa. It's the early slate, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Now here's the thing, Aston Villa, they're currently sitting 4th with 58 points. And currently the top 5 spots in the EPL, they grant Champions League tickets for next season. And in order for Aston Villa to not make the Champions League, they have to drop at least 6th. And they have an 8-point gap ahead of Brighton, who are 6th, with a match in hand for Aston Villa. So I don't think the EPL is the priority right now. Their priority is the upcoming Europa League semi-finals against Nottingham on Thursday. I'm not saying that they're going to be indifferent in the EPL, but why would you risk your best players, or even if you start them, why would they risk injuries or extra fatigue in a match that, I mean, yeah, Aston Villa, if they finish 2nd, 3rd, 4th or 5th, it doesn't matter to them. All they need is a top 5 finish, a Champions League ticket for next season, and to focus on winning the Europa League. So they're hosted by Fulham. Fulham are sitting 12th with 45 points. They're just 4 points outside the top 7 spots, and 7th spot currently leads to the Conference League. We might see another spot open up, but Fulham are within striking distance. I know they've been having some injuries and they've been struggling a bit as of late. Won just 1 of the last 6 with 1 win, 2 draws and 3 losses. But the momentum here says Fulham, in the sense that, I mean, stats say Aston Villa, right? But here's the thing, Aston Villa, they have a huge semi-final coming up in a few days. There might be rotation, there might be distraction. We know that Aston Villa's coach, Unai Emery, is one of probably the best and most successful coach in the history of the Europa League. He's won it like, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 times, something like that. I don't have the exact numbers, but he's very much interested in another Europa League title. Aston Villa are in better form. They've actually won, each of the last 6 against Fulham. But I think, at this point in time, it's Fulham in this game who have the incentive. They're just basically looking for a win or even a draw to keep their hopes alive. So Fulham, pick 'em, even money. All these odds come from Pinnacle, and Pinnacle, just so you know, is the mother of all the odds makers. Everybody takes it from them, and they usually have the best odds. If you go to DraftKings or FanDuel, those I know they're widely available, but they have the worst odds out there. So these odds are from Pinnacle. Expect them to be like 10% worse in other books, but I don't have much time today, so I'm just using Pinnacle, which I always use primarily. So Fulham, pick'em, even money. Moving on let's see now here, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. I mean, you cannot possibly see Liverpool and say, oh, this is a good money line. I mean, I know that they are out of every other competition. They're sitting 5th. They absolutely need the points here in order to stay inside the top 5 spots and claim a Champions League ticket for next season. And Crystal Palace, they are also in the Conference League semi-finals on Thursday. They're hosted by Shakhtar Donetsk in the first leg of the semi-finals. So, I mean, They're currently sitting 13th with 43 points. Yes, within striking distance of the 7th Bournemouth, who are at 49 points. But the way I see it, I mean, this is an indifferent match for Crystal Palace, in the sense that even if they win it, they might risk injuries or fatigue to key players, and there's no guarantee that they're going to finish inside the top 7. So if you ask me, their best chance to play European soccer next season is to win the Conference League, and I think they're probably the number one favorites to do so. So I don't see a lot of goals here. The under 3 is at minus 115. You probably find this at minus 120, minus 125 in other books. I mean, it takes 4 goals to lose this bet, right? And the only matches in the last 9 for Liverpool that had 4 goals or more were again a match against City and a match against Galatasaray in the Champions League. So, and same goes for Crystal Palace. I mean, 0 goals in their last match, 3 goals versus Fiorentina, 3 goals versus Crystal Palace. I think there's a very good chance of a push here. And historically, these two sides, they play for matches like tight matches more often than not. Actually, in the last 9 head-to-head, the only one with 4 goals or more was a Community Shield final. So take that result with a grain of salt. So under 3 goals here, minus 115. Moving on to the next one. Wolves versus Tottenham. The battle of the tragics, as I like to say. Wolves are already relegated, bottom of the league. Tottenham very, very close to being relegated. I'm not sure why Tottenham are, minus 150 favorites here. Yeah, they do need to win to save themselves, but can they do it? They haven't won a single EPL match in 2026. They got injuries. Their psychology is in the depths of hell. I mean, Wolves, yeah, they lost each of the last 2 without even scoring, but both on the road, at home, they've been consistently scoring. They beat Liverpool, they beat Aston Villa, they held Arsenal to a 2-2 draw. Why would they, hand it over to Tottenham? Unless there's something under the table that I don't know. I don't see this as a minus 150 Tottenham money line where you say, oh, I feel confident about taking it. No, I like both teams to score here, minus 135. I mean, Tottenham, despite their tragicness, they usually score. So, very possible both teams to score. And I like Wolves double chance, plus 120. If you like Tottenham to win and just make a push to save the season, just go with a minus 150 money line. I don't like that. I'd rather take a smaller stake on a dog or a wolf, if you will. But minus 150 on this Tottenham at this point in time, not for me. So, Wolves double chance. Plus 120, both teams to score minus 135. Moving on to the next one. We got West Ham versus Everton. West Ham, they're battling relegation as well. However, if Tottenham drop points, West Ham wouldn't be destroyed by a draw here. Everton, they're sitting 10th with 47 points. 3 points behind the 6th spot, 2 points behind the 7th spot, so very, very much interested here. Not sure if they can win it. West Ham, they had 6 draws in the last 8 home matches, 7 draws in the last 10. Really hard to beat at home at this point in time, especially since they changed their coach. Everton on the road, they've only lost to Arsenal and Chelsea in the last 10, actually in the last 12 matches. I'm not really sure where to go with this one. Maybe a draw at plus 230. That doesn't really benefit anyone, but we've seen teams kill each other all the time with these unfavorable results for both sides. So yeah, the draw here is at plus 230, might be worth a shot, and the under 2.5 goals is at minus 104. You could probably find it at minus 115, minus 120, still playable. The under is just a hunch in the sense that usually these two they play for unders. There's only been 2 matches in the last 10 with 3 goals or more. West Ham might be okay with a draw here, but it all has to, it all depends on what Tottenham do against Wolves. And these 2 matches are played at the same time. So maybe something comes up for live betting, but West Ham Everton, again, if you like a big number, the draw is at plus 230, under 2.5 goals, minus 104. These are just leans for me. And moving on to the last match, Arsenal versus Newcastle. Arsenal minus 210 favorites at home. The draw is at plus 395, and Newcastle plus 550, underdogs on the road. The spread is set at 1.25 goal, and Arsenal, they have the Champions League semi-finals against Atletico Madrid on Tuesday, I believe. They've been tragic, and I mean it with every sense of the word. They bottled another EPL, as it seems. They only won one of the last 6 matches, eliminated in both cups in that span. Whenever they beat someone, they barely beat him. I mean, against Leverkusen was the only time in their last 7 matches that they won by 2 goals or more. And Leverkusen, I mean, they're just not that good this season, right? And they beat Everton by 2-0 by a 2-goal margin, but their 2 goals came by at the 89th minute and in the 97th minute. So by the skin of their teeth, they're winning by 2 goals or more. We have to go all the way back to late February. That's more than 2 months ago to find a clear win by 2 goals or more, where they beat Tottenham. London Derby and Tottenham have been just tragic this season. So Arsenal are not winning easily, let alone by 2 goals or more. Now, I know Newcastle, they're on a downward trajectory. They have injuries. They're actually sitting, closer to the relegation zone. Yeah, 42 points. They're 11 points above the relegation zone. But just 7 points behind the 7th spot. Maybe, if they get a result here, maybe they can make a final push to get a ticket to the European competitions next season. Despite losing 4 in a row, they rarely lose by 2 goals or more. I mean, if we leave outside the 7-2 loss to Barcelona, they lost 2-1 to Bournemouth, 2-1 to Palace, 2-1 to Sunderland, 3-1 to City, but it's City and they're not playing games. They lost 3-2 to Everton. Most of their losses there by exactly 1 goal. The reverse fixture at home versus Arsenal, they lost by 1 goal. Last season in this venue, lost by 1 goal. I mean, I definitely see Newcastle not getting beat by a margin here. I mean, if Arsenal take the lead, expect them to park the bus or just try to hold on to the result, because they have also a huge match coming up in the Champions League. Although the EPL is their that's what they want. They've been wanting for many years, and I don't know. The only thing I could think of for Arsenal to win by 2 goals or more is the goal difference that is the tiebreaker, and they're now second with the same goal difference, but they've lost to City, so they need City to draw points. Arsenal to it gives me a headache to just talk about Arsenal, because they're not the same team that started the season. This is a team that has been on a downward trajectory, and I just don't see them winning by 2. If you see them winning by 2, just go Arsenal minus 1.25 goal. I think Newcastle can do something here, even though they tend to be tragic on the road, but I just disagree with Arsenal's favoritism in this spot. If there's any other team than Newcastle, coming to this match, I'd be more keen. But now, I guess Newcastle plus 1.25 goal isn't a terrible bet. So there you have it, 5 plays. Before I recap, I want to remind you guys to like and subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about these EPL matches. I think they're very, very tricky. I think there's going to be a lot of public bets, but that's not always a good thing. Because the public is always, not always, usually misled by I don't know, this influencer has these 5 teams in a parlay or whatever. People don't know ball as much as people like me. And I'm not trying to just, sound cocky or whatever, but I've been watching football for 30 years, been betting for 20, and professionally for the last 7. I know a bad set of odds when I see one, and this Arsenal at minus 210, 215 is just a bad set of odds. Not sure, I mean, I'm not saying that they cannot win it, but I just disagree. So recap. Let's start with the early kickoff. Fulham versus Aston Villa. I like Fulham pick'em, even money. At bet is to minus 125. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. I like the under 3 goals, minus 115. At bet is to minus 125, but that's it. Wolves versus Tottenham. I like both teams to score minus 135. At bet is to minus 145. Wolves double chance plus 120. If you like the spread, you can take Wolves plus 3/4 of a goal at even money, and it also gets you half your stake back if they lose by exactly 1 goal. This might actually be the better bet here. West Ham versus Everton. I don't like much in this game. Just a hunch. Draw at plus 230. Under 2.5 goals, minus 104. At Bethes, again, to minus 125. I don't want to risk too much. And Arsenal versus Newcastle. I like Newcastle plus 1.25 goal at minus 111. At Bethes, again, to minus 125. Guys, listen. I have much better leans in the MLS this weekend. I have a 4% best bet. It's not loaded yet, but I'm just looking at some final numbers. It's going to be loaded shortly on Friday at the time of shooting. Maybe at least, maybe I don't know, maybe a couple of plays in the EPL will make my card. But these are going to be like not my strongest plays. Unless I read something that changes my mind, we're looking at like 2 of those making my card at best. So yeah, head over to my page. You can find discounted passes for like 30, 90, 365 days of soccer. We got MLS passes for 30 days or for a yearly MLS pass. If you ask me, your best bet is to take a $90 day soccer all access or even a yearly pass, because guys, plus 270 units in the last 3 summers. I mean, summers is where I do my best work. Summers is where we got the World Cup, and I turned the profit in 8 of the last 9 major competitions. That's Euros, World Cups, Copa Africa or whatever, Copa Americas. Those international competitions. I know these competitions. I know how teams play. I'm good at reading stats, and that's why I make a ton of money in the summers, because we got these summer competitions. I don't want you to miss out. I don't want to nag you about, go this, do that. You are your own masters. If you want to make money, head over to my page, select like a long-term pass, and let's win some money together. Good luck. God bless.